Oh, hi, everyone. It's me, Joel McHale. I'm a Seahawks fan. I didn't know if you know that. You just heard.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of You Heard, where we feature athletes, celebrities, and influencers telling us about their NFL fandom. In this week's episode, we've got actor and comedian Joel McHale joining us to help preview Sunday's matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. Joel, thanks for being on.
Maddy Glab, thank you for having me.
The
This is
Seahawks get up
coming
and got
into
it going
enemy.
on.
Yes, well, coming into enemy territory. So, well, I guess you guys are, but it's all in good fun. It's just going to be a bunch of guys chasing a ball and running really hard into each other.
And we love watching that. We
We
are the
really
people who
do.
will turn it on every single week.
I would watch it every night, and I can't wait for these. Look, I like an early morning game too. I know they're playing one in Germany this Sunday. I'm like, great, great. I love waking up at 6 in the morning and halftime is just about to happen.
Yeah, you guys, with the time difference, that is an early start to your Sunday. But let's start here. When did you become a Seahawks
Good
fan?
transition. That was really well done. That's why you are a pro, man.
When did your Seahawks fandom begin?
50 years ago when the team first started.
You're like,
It
let me
really,
tell you the story.
when it I mean, it did begin then. I mean, that's when I was we moved to Seattle in the 70s and I didn't know anything from anything. And, you're just like, well, this is the team. And yeah, and so it was one of those things that just kind of happened. Then we moved, then I was like a Mariners fan and a Sounders fan. And then we moved to New Jersey for 2 years. And at that point, the Mariners were awful, and the Phillies were really good. And I'm like, I don't feel like I can root for this team. I don't. That was the first time I realized I probably was a Seattle sports fan.
There's been so many different iterations of the Seattle Seahawks. This team has gone through a lot of different transformations, and the newest one is Geno Smith at quarterback, who
I
has the
feel like
best
this is every
passing
team.
offense
It
in
would
the
be,
NFL.
yeah. If you guys still had Jim Kelly, it would be weird.
That's true. But when you think about the Seahawks history, you guys have a lot of great history. Similar to the Bills, there's a lot of great history there. You've had some amazing players who have been a part of the Seahawks team. Is there an era that you love most or you find yourself going back to?
Well, I have a time machine. Well, of course, our 2014 Super Bowl win is about I mean, I was like, when that happened, I was there. Thank God, I weaseled my way into the game, and it was the amount of joy I experienced was unnatural. That team, I so first of all, that team was like just it'll never happen. I mean that combination of players and those personalities were just it was incredible. But then like the Matt Hasselbeck era was just great. The Dave Craig era, of course, Jim Zorn. So I look back on them all fondly. And as Buffalo Bill, like it took us a long time to get to the Super Bowl, and then that first Super Bowl, literally the referee wrote a letter saying how bad he had officiated the game. I'm like, God, see, and so then to win against Denver the way we did was, oh my gosh, it was. And then of course the next year was I can't even think about. So
We've got quarterback Geno Smith leading the way, best passing offense in the NFL. How have you been impressed by Geno's ability to reinvent himself at quarterback?
well, it's been uh with the with Russell leaving, it felt like all of a sudden the sky was falling and the way it happened and it was it was very big sports news in Seattle and it was all kind of a bummer. And believe me, I'm happy that Russell did, very happy that he did great last night. And I know that some people can be still bitter in Seattle, understandably. And then Gino comes in, and all of a sudden, he's great and gets us to the playoffs. And then this year, it's been we win the first three, And then we're like, look at this. And then we lose the next three, and we lost 2 games in 4 days. And that I was at the Giants game, and I'm like, oh no, what's happening? And then, with the win against the Falcons, it kind of was like, all right, we're back. We're okay, even though Metcalf is injured. And so Gino is just one, I think he's just such a, I mean, obviously the man is such a gifted talent, but he's such a smart quarterback, and he will not. He's wonderfully relentless. He's gonna hang if things aren't going great. I was like, don't worry, he's hanging around. He will hang around and hang around and get stuff done. So the fact that we're at the top of the division with a 4-3 record, I know you guys are 5-2, and you guys are favored. Don't don't rely on that. And so I feel like it's this kind of dangerous team that can, watch out because we got everything we need, I think, to be to go all the way to finally win an NBA championship. No, and, hey, the NBA is starting this week, so that's very exciting.
Go NBA.
Other than the fact that the Sonics are no longer there, and it still upsets me.
You spoke about Geno Smith being a quarterback who likes to hang in there and hang around and make games go till the fourth quarter if the Seahawks happen to be down. We've got a quarterback like that in Josh Allen on the Bills, so maybe this is a game that just comes down to the wire and whoever is better at the QB position gets that victory. What do you know about the Bills and Josh Allen?
I don't know anything. No, just as I don't know.
Who is that?
Doesn't matter, Maddie. It doesn't matter. I Josh Allen is an incredible quarterback. We know, and if you don't have a good quarterback, you're pretty much screwed. I don't know the man, but he seems great. His commercial, and whenever I see like funny guy, like he's funny in commercials, so I'm like, he seems pretty great. But he just seems cool, and obviously, that look that game that was a season and a half ago, or was the last season when you guys barely lost to Kansas City, it will go down as one, even though you guys lost, and I'm sorry about that. Look, I did that. The second Super Bowl with Russell Wilson was still, as I can understand, but that game, I was like, just the sheer talent and skill those guys were showing, pretty great. And the family that owns the team, their daughter Pegula is one of the greatest tennis players playing right now.
I always wonder, okay, whenever his career is over, is he somebody who's going to try and make a push or move into the world of acting, comedy, maybe dabble in that in an acting role because he's good at it and he loves movies. What advice would you give to a Josh Allen who after his NFL days is like, you know what? Lights, camera, action, everybody.
Just all horror films. Just really, like, just get that Saw series going again. Just really brutal horror films. No, you gotta find if he has that Terry Bradshaw, I don't know, like nerve where he can perform and be funny, then yeah, everyone's body cannot play NFL football forever. So, if you Marshawn Lynch the thing and turn it into, a franchise, then it's what good times. And it's great to be around the world of football for the rest of your life. So this is my advice. I don't know. I have no good advice for Hollywood.
Go do it. Okay, you have a plea to stop showing the Pike Place Fish Market during Seattle games. Word on the street is that's how you feel. The Bills have something very similar. On a lot of our broadcasts, they show Niagara Falls, which is like 40 minutes down the road. And I think fans here feel similar to you. So I want to give you the platform. Why do you want that to be stopped?
No, look, I know the guys that own that fish shop, and they're the best guys on the planet, and it's great press. So keep that going. But it wasn't that, and I love those guys, and they do have some of the best fish in all of the Northwest. And but every time it's just like, No matter what, if it's a nationally broadcast game, I was like, they're going to show the fish, they're going to show the Space Needle, they're going to show a ferry going across the water, and then maybe a stadium, and so it's just exact. You could there's all sorts of different landmarks.
Put it on your bingo card.
We have Snoqualmie Falls. Look, we can swap you waterfalls if you like.
Let's do it. Let's see if people notice.
What if if you guys just throw around some buffalo meat, we could do that. I don't know if that's a thing. Oh, your chicken wings or whatever. Throw a few of those. But it's the same thing. Like whenever they show Baltimore, they're like, "There's gonna be." I know they're gonna be showing some whatever that sandwich is or whatever they show. Or I guess that's I don't know. But it's all this. I was like, "Come on, guys."
All the shticks that we have in all these NFL cities that you see, and it may be like an hour and a half down the road, and you're like, this really isn't a representation of where the game is being played.
I do like when they show San Francisco, and even though they play in San Jose, which is about 50 miles away,
yes,
miles away, and we're like, no, the show was San Jose has a lot to show off. They got roller coasters. It's cool. Yeah. Anyway,
come on.
These are all good things to be discussing. There's no.
Yeah, I like to laugh about it too. You walked on.
I did stand up in Buffalo, and they were terrific people.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great. And, it's a short drive to Toronto.
Right down the road. You are definitely correct. I want to go back into the younger years. You walked on as a tight end at the University of Washington. Do you think you could make it in the NFL as a tight end?
I couldn't make it on the Huskies. I was like I was like a mascot. I think they allowed me to remain there because I made the defense feel so good about themselves being on scout offense. They just were so happy every time they hit me because I would just burst out crying and run away. I was really good on skit night. I just nailed skit night. They loved it. And so I think I was just very happy to be there and that they weren't throwing me off the team. The guys in front of me were the vast difference in athletic ability was pretty dramatic.
They're like, we're going to keep Joel around because he's super funny and entertaining and he makes everybody laugh. So it's a win here.
That guy's really practicing his end zone dances a lot. But I'm still friends with those guys, and they're really great. And I live and die for Husky football as well, and the University of Washington. So believe me, I can't believe my good fortune just to be barely, associated with them.
And now they have a bunch of players in the NFL that got drafted this past year. They've been a fun team to watch, too. How did you find comedy and acting?
How did I find it?
Yeah. Was this something always in you, or is it something you were like, you know what? Let's do this.
I think I was such a bad student. Terrible at school. Dyslexic, still dyslexic, terrible. And the only things I was good at was chasing balls. So I was like a golden retriever. And I early on, I just wanted people to look at me. So, I was bit by that bug and started doing theater. And I just always thought, I always loved it. And I thought, if I can just do this until the real job police come and take me away, I'll keep doing it. I think it was, who said, a couple of friends thought I was insane. And then some of my friends were like, hey, why not? Just give it a shot. And I was like, yeah, let's give it a go. And so when I moved to LA back in 2000, Maddy, when you were an infant, I told my wife, I was just like, give me 5 years. Just give me 5 years and we'll see how, if it's going bad, we'll go back to Seattle and I will.
And I'll become a Seahawks player.
Yeah, I'll go right into it in my career. Yeah, it's always a lot of people get into the NFL in their early 30s. So, that's kind of how it went. And believe me, I can't believe my good fortune.
Well, it turned into so many different shows that you were a part of, and also a lot of movies as well. When you think about being a part of The Soup, Spider Man 2, Spy Kids, Bill Nye, even, I thought that was incredible because that's like my childhood. Will and Grace, CSI Miami, Tiger King, and more. What was your
Well,
favorite
Animal
TV
Control
show?
on right now on Fox.
Let's go. What was your favorite
And
TV show or movie to be a part of?
probably Crime Scene Kitchen on Fox as well, airing right now. And House of Villains on E. I'll just keep listing my
Keep
credits.
going.
It's a real, yeah, it's how most actors. That's what, if I ever win an award, I'll just list things that I'm on currently that I hope people watch. I don't even know what the question was. I was too wrapped up in talking about myself.
Favorite TV show or movie you've been a part of?
Oh, well, boy, hard to say. Look, when the soup happened, I didn't know any better. When that started happening, I mean, we kids before there were streamers. We were on it Friday nights at 10 when nobody was watching TV, and the fact that I even gotten the job, it was all sort of like, oh, I don't know, this is how TV works. They give you these tiny jobs on these networks that are barely there, and then you just kind of do it. And then the network grew with Chelsea coming on and Joan coming on and the Kardashians and Ryan Seacrest, and all of a sudden it was working. And so I didn't know any better. So that was kind of my first sort of like, my gosh, I can't believe and that it worked. And then of course, Community was about as fun and exhausting and rewarding as a thing I've ever been on. And now, being on Animal Control, I was like, I'm so happy somebody hired me. Can't believe it. So one of those, I was like, geez, how did it? So anyway, I got to work with Steven Soderbergh and Matt Damon back in 2009. That was also very surreal.
I didn't mention Community earlier because I wanted to ask you a question about being a part of a
Oh,
show, a
right,
lead,
Maddie,
a
you
lead
forgot.
character. I know. Didn't
No,
forget.
I'm just giving you crap.
But I wanted to ask you about being a lead character on Community. It's a show that has so much creative energy and so many personalities, from Chevy Chase to Donald Glover and Allison Brie and way more. What was that like for you?
Believe it, it was one of those things where you, when you get these jobs or you get the pilot and you don't, I've been in numerous pilots that have gone nowhere, and you think this is gonna work, this is gonna be the one, this is, I can't believe it, I'm on TV, and it's like, oh, no, 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 we're not doing more than one, and that's it, go get another job. And that was one where when we started, it was kind of more traditional in the first couple episodes, and then Dan Harmon's big beautiful brain started getting to do what he wanted to do, and we was so great to be along this creative roller coaster. And but we didn't, the show was always, everyone always like, oh, you don't have any ratings, and we were always just about to be canceled. And then during the pandemic, the show really took off. And believe me, I can't, when young people walk up and I'll be like, wow, it's like talking to a grandchild or something. I'm like, let me tell you what it was like to use Blackberries, kid. So, yeah, it was great. And it's too bad about Donald's career. It hasn't flourished, hasn't taken off. Has he done anything since?
Yeah, right. Come on.
Yeah, no, it couldn't have
Guys
happened.
all over the
Yeah,
place.
couldn't have happened to a nicer guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Lord, he's talented.
He definitely is in so many different facets too. What is next for you? What do you have going on right now?
Animal Control on Fox, Crime Scene Kitchen on Fox, House of Villains on E.
Wow.
Yeah, those are the shows that are. Animal Control comes back for its third season in January, and
Okay.
Crime Scene Kitchen is on right now.
Okay.
So I suggest watching the first episode on Hulu before the Seahawks Bills game, and then watch the second episode after the Seahawks victory. on Sunday.
Oh, I don't know about that, but I do like the idea of a little appetizer and watching a show before the Bills and Seahawks game. I can
There you
definitely get
go.
on board
A
with
lot of
that.
people like to eat before an NFL game, and this is all about dessert and some savory food.
Yeah, 100%. Do you want to finish this off with a hot Seahawks take that you have for this season?
A hot Seahawks take. Boy. I don't know. We're gonna win the Super Bowl. How about that?
Wow, that's a hot take.
All right. I was gonna say, like, guys, keep stretching. Stay warm. Got to get when the game starts, be super warm and ready to go. That's you want those muscles to be hot and ready.
That's good. That's also good. I see what you
Keep
did there.
stretching.
See what
Yeah.
you did there.
What's your hot take on the Bills?
Going to the Super Bowl.
I'll say the same thing. Let's play each other in the Super
That-
Bowl.
There you go. That would be great.
A little warm up in week 8, and then we got the Super Bowl later on.
And maybe Pegula will win another doubles title.
That would be amazing. She's so fun to watch and so good.
She really is. She's a great player. My gosh.
Also an amazing person, humble, down to earth, just like Josh Allen. There's some good people in Buffalo.
Will you please, if you ever talk to her, tell her my wife and I, gigantic fans. When we're not watching football, we watch tennis. The tennis channel is on constantly.
I'll definitely have to let her know. She's around sometimes, so when she's in
She's traveling the world.
I know. Yeah, she's all over the place. So cool though to get to be part of a sport where you get to see the entire world.
Yeah, it really is, and I can't believe how many. I think it must be the only sport where you basically have to choose the tournaments because you'll be like, if you try to do them all, you'll never last. You'll be worn out. There's just
It'll turn into dust.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, go Seahawks and go Bills.
Thank you. Our fans will appreciate that.
Favorite team in New York.
There you go. That's a good way to end it. Favorite team in New York. Only team in New York.
Only team. All right, great. Only team in New York. And you're just a short drive from Hamilton, Ontario.
There you go. Nothing better than that, right?
All right, I'm going to go throw some fish and stare at the Space Needle. And you
go over to Pike Place Market. I'll go over Niagara Falls. Thank you so much, Joel. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks for having me. See you,
right.
Maddy Glab.